Hey YouTube, what is up? It's your girl Megan and I am sitting in my thinking chair. And why is this my thinking chair, you ask? Because it is where I think. That was stupid. Don't laugh at that, even though you probably didn't. So, I just wanted to come and make a video because I posted on my Snapchat, which a lot of you probably don't follow. I will post it right here. I posted on my Snapchat that I would be posting my story, why I am the way that I am. If a lot of you do follow me on Snapchat, I post a lot about, like depression and anxiety and how I am with school, which I am homeschooled, by the way, and I will tell you about that in a couple minutes. But yes, I am homeschooled. But if you do follow me on Snapchat, I post a lot of inspirational, motivational stuff, and so I'm gonna make this video so you guys understand why I am that way. Back in 7th grade, I was maybe 13 years old. I lived in Pennsylvania, and I went to elementary school, of course, middle school, and I got really bullied. I made a stupid mistake of, putting myself, if you know what that means, like myself out there to the wrong person, who then sent myself around the school. And I got really bullied, and it was a really dumb mistake. I was going through a lot. Like, this guy had texted me saying, oh, this person who was my ex at the time, is making up these fake rumors saying that you did all this stuff with him. And it's like, I was 12, I was 13, 14. So it's like, I didn't really know him. I didn't know of him. I didn't even I knew my ex, but I'm saying, like, I didn't know the guy who came to me and told me. So then, eventually the guy who came and told me, his name was, let's just say his name was Jerry. Jerry came and told me, this guy's making rumors of you, and so we ended up becoming best friends, and he was like my best friend for like a good year. So then after a good year, he was like, oh, I'm in love with you, and he told me all this sweet stuff, and he was like, oh, well, why don't you send this and this and this. So I was stupid enough to do it, and it was really dumb because I shouldn't have done it in the first place. But ever since then, I have been bullied, and eventually, after a while, it started to go away. And then back in 9th grade, same thing happened. Stupid me, wrong guy. So I learned my lesson from that. And throughout 9th grade, a lot of my friends who were my friends, they left me, they kind of ditched me, they kind of made me feel, after I went to homeschool that, screw you, kind of. And so it was really hard for me because I really thought a lot of my friends that were my friends in 9th grade, hold up, back up. So 7th and 8th grade, I spent in Philadelphia. And then 9th grade, I moved back to Florida. So in 2006, I would have been 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we spent about 3 years here. And then when I turned 9, I moved back up to Pennsylvania. Went to school there, did everything there. All the bullying was there. And then around 2014 to 2015, we came back to Jacksonville, Florida, which when we lived here before, and basically we've been working to move back. So when we got back to Florida, everything was cool, everything was awesome, and then I got involved with the wrong guy before my serious boyfriend, and so that was kind of tough for me because a lot happened there with like the cops and everything, and no one got in trouble, no one got sent to anywhere bad, but that was all taken care of. So that was really hard for me when all of my friends left me, because I really thought, they were my really good friends, like I just said. And I really thought, it was going to be something that was going to be, a lifetime. So after 9th grade, I couldn't deal with it anymore. I had a really good friend, let's say his name was, his name was Henry. Let's just say that. I do actually have a friend named Henry. Henry, this isn't for you. I had a really good friend named Henry, and we were like best friends. Like we did everything together. Like we hung out. We had most of the same classes, and so he was like my best friend. Like he would ditch class with me because I felt anxious. Class as in like lunch. So he would ditch lunch with me, and we were like the ideal best friends. Like everyone was like, oh my gosh, y'all should date. And I didn't really see him like that because I loved him so much as like a best friend that I didn't want him to like leave. I didn't, you know, if we ever dated and then I hurt him, I didn't want him to leave. So I was like, I kind of you know, dodged being like with him as a girlfriend, which I kind of regret now because like now 3 years down the line, I really miss him. So, but anyway, so yeah, all this stuff with the cops happened, and then like after we kind of broke up, and like halfway through 9th grade, I had met this one guy. Let's say his name is Thomas. His name isn't Thomas, but I met Thomas, and he was a little bit older than me at first. So I was kind of like, okay, well, you know, I kind of had to like convince my parents to like, you know, let me see him. And it wasn't anything super serious at first. I just thought, okay, well, he was cute because I was 15 at the time and he was like 4 years older than me, so he was 19. So I thought he was cute. I was at the deli and I was like at Publix. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And his coworker had given him my number, so then that's kind of where it started. And so that was really serious. 3 years down the line, we're still like best friends. You know, we broke up because we were arguing and stuff happened. I don't really want to get into that. I don't really want to put my personal stuff out there about that. But yeah, we had broken up because arguing got really bad. But I still love him. He's still like my best friend, and he, you know, we adore each other. But like, it's just not the right timing, and honestly, that's okay. And he really kind of helped me pull me out of my shell because he dealt with bullying too. So it really kind of helps me, you know, jump out of my shell. And because like knowing that he went through bullying and he's as strong as he is today, which he's in the Army now, so I'm really proud of him. Go, I don't know what I just named you, but go you. Go Thomas. So yeah, so I'm really proud of him. He's like my best friend. It really kind of broke me because, you know, I really did love him, but it's okay. It's okay. God has perfect timing for everything, and that just wasn't the right timing, so I'll just go with the flow with that. But after 9th grade, I became homeschooled for 10th and 11th grade. And that was awesome because I was able to work at my own pace, and I was able to really jump out of my shell and really see, you know what, I don't really care what people think about me, because I gained my confidence a lot because of Thomas. And you know, he really helped me jump out of my shell, and I really appreciate that. And I started making friends, you know, through work, and I really jumped out of my shell. Like I really felt confident in myself. So you know, when I was getting bullied in 9th grade, I was really like suicidal. You know, I didn't want to be here. I was like, why doesn't anyone want to be friends with me? Because that's how I kind of felt in 7th grade. I was like, why doesn't anyone want to be friends with me? Like, people make mistakes all the time, but it's like nobody forgave me, I felt. And it was like, I really felt like, you know, God just didn't want me to be here. And so it really kind of broke me as a person because, you know, I really wanted to be loved. I really wanted to have a lot of friends. I wanted to be popular. And so that just didn't happen. And it was really hard for me to accept that. But, you know, 3 years down the line, now I do. And I don't really care what people think about me. Like, if you don't want to be friends with me, then that's fine. I don't need you as a friend. Because my education is way more important than my friendship. So, yeah, I started working at Plato's Closet around 11th grade. It was a really good job. Like, I really loved it. Go Plato's Closet. Because the clothing was really nice. It gave me really good hours, which I don't work there anymore just because of like personal reasons. But I love working there. I could really jump out of my shell. I could be really comfortable with the girls. I could be really comfortable with, you know, anyone who worked there or any of the customers. I was really helpful, and, you know, it made me feel good about myself. Like, it made me feel like, you know, okay, so maybe I do have like a good part of me. And so I really started to regain my confidence. And so 10th grade, nothing really happened. Nothing really interesting happened. But 11th grade, I really jumped out of my shell, and I'm really proud of how, far I've come, because with bullying gave me so much anxiety, like you guys would have no idea. Like I would go out the house and I would be like, oh my gosh, that tree is judging me. Oh my gosh, that house is looking at me some type of way. And it's like I got really bad like self-conscious issues, especially like when I was dating Thomas, because when we broke up, he would like hang out with other people, he would hang out with other females, and I was so jealous, and it really made me like, none of that happens anymore. Like I was just, it was nothing that he did. I was just very like self-conscious of myself, because I was in that stage to where even though like when I was at work I was really outgoing, I still was in that position to where, okay, well, I'm jumping out of my shell, but there's still some stuff that I have to work on. And loving myself is one thing. So which 11th, or not 11th, 9th and 7th grade has a really big impact on that, because if I didn't get bullied and I didn't feel suicidal and anxiety when I went into school, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today, because I wouldn't have to know what it's like to force myself to jump out of my shell, because I really did. So I really am thankful for all the bad stuff that I went through, because it made me the strong person that I am today. And honestly, like, I hated what I went through, but I'm thankful I did, and I'm glad that I did, because it really helped me jump out of my shell. And anyone who gets bullied, they hate it now, but it will make you a strong person in the end, because it will break. You have to break in order to be made. So 12th grade, here I am. I started school a couple days ago, and I decided, okay, well, let me just jump out of my shell and do 2 classes online and 4 classes at home, which worked at first. And remember, I haven't been in school since 9th grade. So, I mean, through homeschool, you had to go into school to take tests, but that was basically it. Like, you didn't have to stay and interact with anybody. So, 12th grade, I went to my guidance counselor, and I was like, listen, I want to do 2 classes online, 6 classes, 2 classes in school, 6 classes online. So I eventually did that, and the first class was fine. Like, it's intensive reading, because I didn't pass my one exam, so I had to take intensive reading, which I really love that class. Like, there are so many kind, gentle, sweet, loving people in that class. Like, I'm very outgoing in that class. I'm just like all over the place in that class. So I'm really thankful that I took that class, because it really helps me. Sorry, my foot started hurting. It really helps me as a person to get out of my shell. And I'm so sorry. I really enjoyed that class. And so the second class was English 4. Now, that class gave me a lot of anxiety, because there was a lot of talking and I couldn't focus. And so I don't even know what that was. Why did I just do that? There was a lot of talking and I couldn't focus, and I felt really left out. So that gave me really bad anxiety going inside of that class. And the second day that I went into school, they already had a presentation that you had to do 4 days after starting school. So that to me gave me really bad anxiety, because I was like, so I have to get in front of a class filled with people that the people didn't give me anxiety. It was just like, they were talking, and I get it, y'all are best friends, like y'all know each other, but it personally gave me anxiety, so I didn't really want to do it. And so and I know you guys are probably like, oh, well, you give up too easily. And honestly, like, sorry, my phone died. Honestly, like, it didn't give me anxiety, but if I can't focus as a student, then there's no reason why I have to be taking that class if I have other options and like that are guaranteed passing. So I really I really felt like in that class that I couldn't I couldn't focus as a student, and I couldn't, you know, excel the way that I wanted to. And I've taken English online, and I really do good in that class online. So I figured, okay, well, I gave it a try, but I personally, as a person, cannot focus. I personally, as a student, cannot focus. So I need to better myself and, you know, better my education and do what I feel is right. And it doesn't make me a loser, which I thought at first, oh, well, you're giving up because you can't make friends. No, I'm not giving up. I'm just bettering my education to where I feel comfortable. I feel like that is the best environment for me. And so I recently just did that. And so ever since I did, my intensive reading class, which is my only class in school, is the best. I'm friends with everybody in there. I'm really close with them. Like, they're good friends with me. And, you know, I enjoy it. I really do. And I love my teacher. She's hilarious. And so it's like, it's a really good class. It makes me feel good about myself. So moral of the story is, you have to break as a person in order to grow. Because if you do not grow as a person, as a student, as a female, as a male, then you will not ever get anywhere in life. Because if you go through life, you know, everything works out for you. There's no stress, there's no drama, there's no this or that. It's like, you won't know what it's like to fail. Because not fail, but I'm just saying, like, if you fail or there's difficulty in your life, then you will know what it's like to be stronger, because you won't know what it's like to be stronger until you go through something that breaks you. So bullying and suicidal and anxiety and depression and sitting in my room crying myself to sleep because I felt like I had no friends, that is no more, because I picked myself up. I did something with my life. I decided, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna sit home all day. I'm gonna go into that school, I'm gonna take my one class, and I'm gonna ace that shit. I'm gonna ace my test, I'm gonna be outgoing, I'm gonna make friends, and I did, and I'm proud of myself. And, you know, I make friends through Instagram. Like, I'm going to a Halloween party. In 9th and 10th grade, I would never do that. So I'm going to a Halloween party in October. But I'm so thankful of how far I've come, because I was a broken human being. I was scared. I had so much fear, and now I don't, because I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna do it the way that I want to, not the way that everybody else wants me to. So if everybody else wants me to be, you know, this person, this super outgoing person, I'm not gonna be that. I'm gonna be shy, because I'm not gonna be who people want me to be. I'm gonna be who I want to be, and I want to be who I feel comfortable, and that's the way that I love myself. So moral of the story is, do not let fear stop you from being you, because everybody has a fear. I had a fear of making friends, but I went and did it. So do not let fear stop you from being amazing and being you and being the best person that you can be, because everybody is here for a reason. You guys are here for a reason, and you guys need to love yourself, and you guys need to understand that things won't always work out, and things will get stressful, but that's okay, because it will make you into a strong human being. Okay, so everybody love yourself and have a great day, and thanks for watching this YouTube video. All right, love you guys, bye.